Hey guys, it's the morning here. If you can't tell, I'm basically still wearing my pajamas, but that's how we roll. Me and Clay last night recorded a tier list for the synergies, not for units, for synergies. And it's quite a long one. We had a long discussion about where to place each individual synergy, and it was a really, really, really good discussion. And I fully recommend that you listen to the entire video if you want to get some kind of insight into why we placed certain synergies where, because you might see the image and not be quite 100% behind where we place things, but we had some good reasoning behind placing things in certain tiers. And so I hope you watch the entire video and you can hear the reasoning and thought process behind it. It is quite long. It's one of those ones that maybe you can just listen to while you're sleeping or going to bed or something. But it's a really, really, really good video, and I think me and Clay definitely had a really good discussion. What we're going to do is me and Clay are going to do this every week for units and synergies. We're going to alternate which channel the tier list goes onto. And so I fully recommend that you go and check out Clay's channel, youtube.com/Claytano or /c/Claytano, as he will be posting this next time. But yeah, this is a format that we want to work on together, and I think it's something that we can do on a weekly basis because we generally get balance updates every week. If we don't get a balance update, we probably won't update the tier lists, but when we do get balance updates, we'll update everything. But yeah, this is a really, really, really good video, actually. I think there's a lot of really good discussion here, and I think hopefully you guys can come away thinking what the best builds are in terms of what you should be trying to go for in your games. We're probably going to do something along the lines of what counters what, so you guys know which synergies counter other synergies, because that's kind of how auto chess plays. But yeah, I fully recommend that you just check out the video, and if you like it, make sure you follow me and subscribe and hit the bell, but also do the same for Claytano's channel too, because we'll be doing a lot of this together over the course of the next few weeks. Cheers, guys! Now that I think about it, that seems a bit better.
Like those are the three premier builds
Yes,
in the game.
I think those are the three that you'll see most high bishop rook players go for. For late game pure win condition. These are the three builds that most people lose streak into, for instance. So I think I'm very happy with this tier list now. All right, guys, we have tier list time, and I managed to wrangle down my new favorite American, Claytano. You are joining me for this tier list.
Oh wow, new favorite American. I was about to say you're my new favorite European. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here, man. I've actually watched a lot of your videos and we've talked a little bit off camera, and I think it'll be a good thing to put both of our minds together and come up with this tier list and hopefully help out the viewers.
Yeah, and I think what we're going to do, guys, and I'm very glad you said European, by the way, and didn't make a Brexit joke, because I'm pretty happy about that. Although we are welcoming Donald Trump to our country soon, so we won't get into politics too much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome for that.
Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is me and Claytano have decided that week by week basis we are going to cover synergies and units in a tier list fashion, and we're going to do it together because I think two minds better than one for these kind of things. We can have a discussion. What we're going to do, just so you guys are aware of the format, is one of us is going to publish the video and then the other one is going to publish the video on the following week. The reason we might do it on a week by week basis is because Auto Chess Mobile generally has balance updates every week, which means things are going to shift around, especially with units and especially with synergies. You might see there's not much shifting, but it's always good to keep up with the meta. It's really, really important, especially as you climb up towards Rook, that you know what you're building and what is the most sort of the highest win percentage builds that you can go for. So in general, this tier list is going to be based on what we think is the best composition to get most consistent wins with, but we're also going to bring in some other factors like adaptability, also early game power, that kind of thing, and we'll kind of discuss it as we go. But Clay's obviously a great player. I'm not bad. So we should be able to get this rolling, and I think I'll give you the honor of starting with the placement of. We'll start with demons, because I know you've actually played a lot of this in your Twitch channel. By the way, twitch.tv/Claytano. If you are not aware, I hang out in his Twitch channel all the time. But yeah, demons. So I'll give you the honor of where you think demons should go. S being the best, and you should build this or aim to build this, and F being this is hot garbage.
Okay, okay. So honestly, it's funny that we're starting with demons because it's actually one of my favorite classes to build. But at the same time, it's not easy to build, nor is it really smart to build. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna put that actually at a C,
I
but
I
like right in the middle.
okay. I mean, I quite like C, to be honest. I think C for demons is good. The reasoning behind C for demons is I think it's a really expensive strategy, and everybody wants one demon on their lineup. Usually
Right.
everybody has one demon, so the chance of you 2 and 3 starring things can get a bit awkward. Um,
And we're not talking about demons as like, oh, you should have at least one in your team. This is talking about going full demon strategy with this
yes.
tier list, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I think demons by themselves are obviously great. Like you just want one demon in your lineup, but we're talking about
mhm.
full demons. So I think whilst we do that, we can also put in where is that stupid Fallen Witcher one? Oh, here we go. We can probably put these two. We can probably put these two together because you can't play full demon without the Witcher passive. So I guess we can slot both of those in
Yes.
here. Even though the Witcher passive by itself is kind of garbage, it has to go with the demon strategy.
Yeah, like I probably wouldn't build Taboo Witcher just to have the Witcher. I would probably just do it if I was going like feathered or something. But yeah, I think that's smart to just pair them together. So
Yeah, I did
double C's right there.
did kind of forget about the single taboo Witcher thing, but so to be honest, I wouldn't ever build a single taboo Witcher for the simple fact of just shutting down a demon. It's just not worth it for the 50%
No.
pure damage or whatever.
And
But
even at 3 star, he's kind of lackluster in
actually, I'm gonna
HP.
I'm gonna shove that down. I actually forgot about the one Witcher thing. I actually just think it's only good if you're building demons. In fact, it's literally going in F. Fuck, you know.
Do we just have a garbage tier? A G for garbage? No. F is fine. We'll
Yeah.
just, yeah,
I think
not be too.
because it's only good with demon and it's really good nowhere else and it's not good by itself, then it goes in F.
That makes sense.
I also think we could
All
put
right, you want to?
yeah, I'm just gonna put Kira in
Oh
F.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think we can agree on that, right?
Yep, that's pretty easy.
All right,
And okay.
you choose the next one. You choose the next one. What you want to tier it?
Well, I mean, we could just kind of go down the list. So humans.
Okay,
Personally, I've never built full humans. That's including like the mages and the knights. Uh, I would say it's probably around a D because I just don't think the full human build is going to give you the win.
that's interesting. And I think on a pure win basis, I'd absolutely agree with you. However, I think the 2 and 4 human synergies are really good when combined in mages and warriors and knights, for instance. I,
Yeah,
I
well, like Pyre Captain's obviously S tier by himself, and then if you put him into like the knight synergy, and then you have the human synergy, it's kind of nice to silence people near end game. So that's true. That's if we're talking about like just 2 and 4. But if you're trying to go 6, then absolutely
I
not.
mean, if you're going 6 humans, you're doing something wrong with your life. So
Right.
it's. I think I'd actually personally put it like C because I think it's adaptable and I think it can be really clutch. But you would never build humans as a primary synergy. Um,
Right.
so I kind of value it because I value it as a side synergy. Like I value humans as a side synergy in a lot of compositions. Like it is really big in mages and it's really big in knights, for instance. So I kind of want to put it in C. How do you feel about that?
So I agree with that as a side synergy. I'd actually put it up higher as a side synergy, kind of like with Egg Assist.
So maybe B.
But if we honestly, maybe even yeah, maybe B. And then Aegisthus was probably like similar, where I would rarely ever build 4 Aegisthus unless I'm up against like a full warrior team in
Yeah,
the last game. But I mean, if we're just talking primary, like you're sending full humans, then I would probably put it lower. But
yeah,
as a side,
yeah. I think if we're putting full
that's kind of like
humans,
with demons, right? With demons as a side or a sub category, subclass, and it's great.
yeah.
But sending full demons, it's not really the easiest thing.
No, I think just in terms of flexibility of it, though, I think humans are very flexible and go across multiple comps. And I know demons is a singular, but then demon, I think you're almost just looking at units when you're talking about demons, then, because you're only bringing on one unit as opposed to the pure demon synergy. Because if we're talking about one
Right.
units, I'd put demons in S, because demons are obviously really good in almost any composition. Who wouldn't take free?
Right.
Who wouldn't take free 50% pure damage, right? Um,
Yeah.
this is why making tier lists are really difficult, because there are so many things that go into it. It's crazy.
So maybe should we just make the tier list like if we were to build 6 out of 6 humans?
6 out of 6
And
humans, but then I think
like if we were to build everything.
I think we undersell humans. Then that's the sad thing about it, because then if someone took a picture of this, we're underselling humans as a kind of part synergy.
Okay, so then this could be any of the synergy, whether it's a sub or a main synergy.
Yeah, because otherwise we need to separate it
Okay.
out into 2 separate tier lists, which could be something that we do in the future. But if you're watching this entire video, which I hope you will be, guys, you will hear our reasoning, and you will kind of get an idea behind it. Let's go on to Warlocks now.
Okay.
I think Warlocks are good, but I think they're massively overhyped, and I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I really only build them as a subclass as well.
Yes.
Maybe if I'm going Goblin mech.
I agree. I
Because
think
then I have the Venomancer and
yeah.
it's I would definitely put it below demons.
Yeah, I think so. I think Warlocks are good, but I do agree. I think they only really fit into Goblin mech, and I think the only other synergy you could put it in is maybe a warrior. But the problem is, if I build Warlocks in warrior, then I potentially sacrifice Glacier Clan or any kind of Glacier.
And it's just not
synergy.
worth it.
It's just not worth it.
And you might even sacrifice Aggressus at that point too. I mean, you don't really need Aggressus Wars, but
the problem is there's only 2 good Warlocks, right? There's Dark Spirit and there's Soul Reaper. And then the next best in my
Shadow Devil too.
Shadow Devil, but he's kind of like a little bit underpowered on the mobile version right now. I actually prefer Desperate Doctor to Shadow Devil, because he's got his ultimate's actually really good.
Right. Okay.
That's why I like demons Warlocks in Warrior with Berserker, because I can bring in Shadow Desperate Doctor, and I have a Glacier Clan with him, and then I can just put in Dark Spirit and Soul Reaper if I get to level 10, and I've got a nice Warlock. But anyway, whoever gets to level 10, right? That's the problem. Like, I don't think Warlocks are as flexible as humans, for instance. So it's like,
yeah, I'd put them D. I think that's a good spot for them. Definitely below demons, but D sounds about right.
All right, your turn with let's go with dragons.
Okay, so this I have a little bias on this, so you might need to knock me down a few here, but dragons are my favorite class in the game as far as damage dealers are concerned. Dragon Knight's being my favorite unit in general. I think they're one of the best damage classes, and they can fit with so many different things like Feather. They can fit with Knights. They can fit with I even put them with Druids sometimes. I put them with Assassins, whatever. Like, I feel like they're pretty adaptable. I would put them probably at B, right alongside humans.
That's interesting, because I'd put them at A.
You put them even higher. Okay. I wanted to be a little bit realistic, but yeah, let's put them up there.
The reason I wouldn't put dragons S, and I think dragons are a great synergy. I think they mostly fit into knights. I think dragons 6 knights is the go-to strategy for most people looking to play dragons. The reason I think dragons can't be S is because if you don't get Dragon Knight 2, it sucks.
Agreed. Yeah, if you can have all the dragons, but if you don't have Dragon Knight 2, then it's just sell it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think I can happily leave them in A. Like, I can happily leave them in A, and I'd say that's fine. Glacier Clan, for me, S. And that's that. I know that's interesting, but I think Glacier Clan are really adaptable, and Knights Glaciers and Warrior Glacier, and I know Glacier is like a sub synergy, but it is just so strong.
It's a good way to get yourself some wins.
Yes, it's a very solid strategy. The only thing that might be difficult when you get towards Bishop Plus is Berserker is a very popular unit, and again, you can play with Berserker 1, but it's better to have Berserker 2 in terms of That's another. Actually, maybe I'm being a little bit too eager here. I might put it down to A. It's another one of those
Kind of for
things.
the same reason as dragons,
Yeah,
almost.
you kind of need Berserker. Like Glacier Clan, every other unit in Glacier Clan is garbage except for Berserker. Um,
Frost Knight's the worst unit in the game, in my opinion.
I think. Oh my god, dude! I'm really sorry to YouTube comments, but I've had 3 separate YouTube comments telling me I heavily underrate Frost Knight, and I'm like, dude, it is the
Oh
worst.
no.
It's the worst level 3 statted unit in the game. It is actually
Yeah.
just bad.
Yeah, you could put a 3-star Frost Knight up against like a 1-star Doom and he'll lose.
But I think Glacier Clan are a really good sub. You can't build Glacier Clan by itself because there's only 4 of them and all of their units suck. They are always going to be a sub synergy, but I think they're one of the best sub synergies out there.
Agreed.
All right, now for you to place Cave Clan.
All right. Cave Clan, I think is really good early game, but they fall off late game.
They do.
They're good in a couple synergies, like Warriors, obviously, and a little bit in Hunters as well. I would probably put them right around D.
Yeah,
with Warlocks.
I'm in split minds between D and C. The reason is the adaptability of Cave Clan is a bit better than Warlocks. Like you can go Cave Clan Warriors, you can go Cave Clan Hunters, like you said, but actually also a very popular build on PC that I play on mobile too is Cave Clan Mages. When you have what is it called? Is it the 4-cost that's Disruptor on PC?
Storm Shaman?
Storm Shaman. When you have Storm Shaman, it actually favors you in a mage versus mage mirror because you get the 2.5-second silence.
You're right. But how often do you build 4 of them?
I did it with mages because it's 600 extra HP per unit. Because it starts.
So you did do all 4 of them with mages then?
Yeah, I did do all 4 of them with mages, and then I put 2 extra warriors on. I think I put pirate captain and werewolf.
But you're saying
wait,
you would rather you would love to have 4 Cave Clan units just as much as you would like to have all the demons?
No, I think you're right. I think it's gonna
Right?
go in D. It's a great.
I think it fits with Warlock.
Yeah,
like kind of like it's there. It's a good bonus.
It's a great early game synergy, like you said, but I actually think it's strictly worse than Goblin Mech. But it's a good early game synergy if you can't get anything else. The problem is with the early game synergy is that Red Axe Chief is just a garbage unit as well. The only thing he's good at is protecting your back line versus assassins most of the time. He can also cancel spell animations and stop people from canceling casting spells, which is also good.
Right.
But actually, as a unit, he's kind of bad. And then Swordman is also falling off. Like Swordman also falls off pretty hard because I actually give Morbid Mask to Swordman just so he doesn't cast his bloody ultimate in the late game because it becomes next to useless even at 3-star when you go on. But yeah, I think I like Cave Clan in D. I think it's a good synergy. The 4 isn't really adaptable. Really, most people will only ever use 2, and that's only really good in the early game. So yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for it.
Goblins.
I would say, sad to say, but I'd probably put them up probably A or B almost. Like they're very reliant on Devastator to win the game.
Yes.
They're super good early game. And then if you can get to end game and get a Devastator, then it's actually pretty devastating.
Yeah, I'd actually put them, if I could put them between A and B, I would. I think they're better than humans. But because of the reliance on Devastator, I'm going to put them in A for the time being. The simple reason being is that if you get the 6 goblins, it is one of the best late game synergies in going.
Yeah,
like it is just ridiculous. Plus, you then have
and then it being at one of the best early game synergies as well.
Exactly, and I think a lot of the units from goblins are also some of those best 1-cost and 2-cost units in slot. So it's like they're just good in that sense. I think
a good way to put it is like, with goblins, you're reliant on one single 1-star legendary, where with dragons and glacier, you're reliant on a 2-star of those mythics.
Yeah. All right, so let's go on to warriors then. I think you get to place this, so we'll give it over to you.
Oh, is it me? I thought I placed goblins.
No,
You can
no,
take
mate.
warriors if
No,
you want.
mate. No, I placed I think
Okay, okay.
we're looking at S or A, so it's one of these two.
Full warriors, 9 out of 9. I mean, it's one of the premier classes right now, I would say, especially with the changes and stuff that they've made to it. Um, as being adaptable, early game, late game, I would probably just put it S.
I think I agree. I think nine warriors. Any strategy that revolves around level 9, in my opinion, is not a strategy that you should look to play for, because level 9 is something that only the very very rich people in the game usually get to. Um, so if you're looking to get top 3 consistently, you should look to play for a level 8 strategy. However, I think warriors slot into a lot of compositions. They at 6 warriors, they're still really good, and I think they are, like you said, they've just got great units. They've got pirate captain, they've got doom, they've got a werewolf who's a really good mid game carry,
Berserker.
berserker. They're just good. I mean, you can't escape it. Warriors are just good, and I think I'm going to
Yeah.
very quickly slam knights up in S as well, um, just because of how adapt.
Really? Knights
Yeah.
are S. I would put
Well,
them F. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They're 100% S. Absolutely.
I know like 6 knights falls off late game really hard. And if you have a warrior composition up against a knight composition, you're very likely going to lose if you're the knights. But knights are so good mid game, and they're so adaptable with what you can throw them with. Like Knights Glacier Clan, Knights Dragons. I've had a few Knight Hunters I've seen play as well, even just getting the 4 Knight bonus with the Hunters. It is just super strong for the majority of the game, and I think Knights also have one of the strongest demons, which is Hell Knight. So I think it's just a good class. It's obviously a very popular class, but it is just a good class.
Yeah, and even if you just throw 4 knights in, like you said, with Glacier or Dragons, and then fill up the rest of your slots when you hit 9 or 10 with legendaries, like it's easy. You don't have to make too many decisions. Just build knights and then fill it up with legendaries.
Shaman. Now I wouldn't put this F personally. I'd put it E because it's good in some circumstances.
Okay.
What do you think about Shaman?
Uh, I mean, as something that I would really worry about, I would probably put it F. Like I would probably use it as a bonus. Maybe if I was, you know, like if it's there, it's there. If not, then I'm not gonna like even look to build it.
The thing is, I think it's pretty pog in neutral rounds.
Okay.
So I think versus the like if
So
you
F.
neutral rounds are important too. Like if you're sucking, right, and you need a bit of a boost in a neutral round, like versus like anything from the Ursa onwards, like it's really good against Ursa, it's good against the Wild Wings, it's good against Thunder Hides, and it's great against Black Dragon King. Those are like 4 or 5 neutral rounds that is actually fairly useful. You can sub in Storm Shaman if you really want to or whatever. I think it's all right. Like I think
It's better than Kira.
yeah,
So.
exactly. I think it has its uses, and I don't want to F it because I think Kira doesn't. I don't think Kira's got its uses, and I think Fallen Witcher has its uses, but it's a garbage use apart from if you're going demons.
Okay. I can live with it just because I'm seeing Kira and I would rather have Shaman than Kira.
Yeah, I mean, getting an immediate hex could hit a really important target. If you could just like this whole game's like partly RNG. Why not just roll the dice one more time?
Right.
All right, what do you think about Beast then? Since I placed that, you get to place this.
I would say beasts are probably like B with humans.
Yeah,
Maybe even
I,
maybe A, but like A or B.
I think A because Beast Warrior is a really strong strategy right now, and if you know me, Poisonous Wormy Boy is like the Pog Champ mid game unit, and also like Razor Claw is so strong right now.
Yeah.
But I think that beasts are just good. I'd personally put them A. Personally,
They just take so many points from people too.
they do. They really do. I don't think they're S tier because you can't build a composition around beasts. But I think you can definitely put them into a lot of different compositions, and actually some of the units that they've got are just good.
I think you could actually make a composition around beasts.
Yeah, but I think you need to like combine it with something like warriors because
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd have to combine with something.
all the beasts are so different. Like they're all from different classes, right? because Beast is
Or
a
just go Beast Druid and then
yeah.
have your tanky front line and then just throw your Lord of Sand in the back with the poisonous worm.
I think they're A though. I think I'm happy with A. Like I'm actually if I look at A, I'm pretty happy. I'm almost tempted to move goblins down just because they are rigid and rely on Devastator. I don't know. And now I'm looking at now
No,
I'm
I would
look
almost move them up,
no,
but
I can't move them up. It's just no way.
let's just leave them there then.
I kind of want to move humans down now. I'm looking at humans thinking actually I kind of agree with Claytano. Like they're going in D. I'm sorry, humans. Goodbye, humans. I reasoned with you, but you're in D now.
If you're saying like we can't build a comp around them, I think they're better than Cave Clan. Maybe
Okay, C.
C.
Yeah, I think C. Let's go with C.
Okay.
Hunters.
It's S for sure.
Yeah, I think hunters are S for sure. I think
They're good at 3, they're good at 6.
exactly.
They're good at 3, they're amazing at 6.
Yeah, and also Tsunami Stalker, if you get it, for some reason is the most. It's the legendary that I seem to roll the most all the time. It's like Tsunami Stalker is just an S tier unit. Like it's just good.
Hmm. And
So,
so is Siren as well.
yes,
Well, not maybe not like S, but like she's really good.
she's A tier. Like I think I put her A tier in my list. She's really strong. The problem is that her ultimate takes a while to get going. Whereas
Hmm.
Tsunami Stalker is like immediate impact. I'm just happy to put them in S. No discussion. I think they're really strong.
Right.
What do you think about
So as
mechs?
mechs, I think mechs are good, but relying on goblins, so B.
Yeah, I think mechs as an early game strategy is insane. But they like mechs as an actual strategy fall off by about round 15.
Yeah.
You play mechs to build into goblins. They are like the hand in hand. You can't build one without the other.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'm happy to put
I
mechs
mean,
in.
you could almost just put them on the same tier at that point, but I would say goblins is technically better than mechs if you wanted to break it down that much.
I think I yeah, I think at I think even almost at every stage, goblins are just better because that early game goblin bonus when you've only got 3 or 4 units on the field, where one unit can literally pop off, I think is good.
Hmm.
What do you think about feathered, or is it my turn to do feathered? I don't know. It's up to you.
You can do feathered. I'm gonna say what I feel like about feathered as well, though. I'd like to hear your thoughts actually before mine.
So I'm tempted to put feathered in A. The reason being is I don't think 3 feathered are good, and I think you need 6 feathered to make them work. I think 6 feathered is insane versus stuff like knights and warriors. Um, and I think they build really nicely out of druids, of course. But I think like you need the full 6, whereas I think knights, warriors, and hunters are more like you could go for the 3 or the 6 or whatever, and it's or the 2 and the 4, and it's just a bit better. So I personally would put them A.
So I understand what you're saying, but to compare them to hunters, where you need 6 hunters, which one of them includes a legendary, is a lot harder to get.
Mm,
Where with building 6 feathered, there's no legendary feathered,
that's
and
true.
there's a lot of extra feathers that you can make to 6. So I personally think they're S tier and super good to win games with.
Do you know what? I can accept your reasoning. I think they're also really adaptable. You can go feathered assassins, you can go feathered druids, you can even go feathered hunters. So
Even with just 3, like you can
yeah,
build them with so many different things. But with 6 as an actual comp themselves, they can even be extremely powerful.
yeah, okay, I agree. What about marine then? The thing about marine is like I think they're really good, but only versus mages.
Yeah, it's kind of like a counter strategy. So almost, I,
I'm between D and E because they're only good versus mages. Like any other time, they're just bad.
I mean, there's other units that do magic damage, like
Yeah,
dragons.
no, that's true. That's true. Maybe D. I don't think they're as good as humans, for instance.
No, so I think I could be happy with D.
Okay. We talked about Agursis. I
I
think
would say
Agursis is a
B.
B. I think Agursis is a B
Yeah.
as well. I think the 2 Agursis bonus is really easy. It's super good for early mid game rounds. I think 4 Agursis is kind of bad because you need Blight Sorcerer, and I think Blight Sorcerer is a kind of bad unit. I think it's the worst legendary in the game. Um,
I build so when I see somebody going warrior with glacier, I actually look for Blight Sorcerer
Oh
because
no,
it's
I do as well because
so good.
it's like the direct counter to Warrior, right? It's the like you reduce their
And
armor.
Glacier,
Yes, that's true, but in Glacier because
because it reduces the attack speed by what, 65, 75% or
you
something.
have to get it to bounce to him though, and sometimes it doesn't bounce to him, which
True,
is a bit feels
but
bad.
at least there's a chance.
But I agree. I think Agursis are really strong. I feel bad putting Agursis on the same plane as Mech, but I think Agursis remains relevant through a lot of the game, whereas obviously Mech do fall off.
Mhm.
If I could put them between like B and C, I probably would, just because I feel a little bit bad putting them in the same tier as Mech, or maybe I'd put Mech between B and A. But either way, I think I'm happy with B.
Yeah, I think they're good there.
So Druids, what do you think about Druids? I personally think they're A tier. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I mean, I build them so often. So I would also say A tier. The reason why is because they're just such a good front line
Mm-hmm.
for so many different damage classes. You could build Glacier with them. You could build Dragons with them. Obviously, the main choices would be Hunters or Mages with them in the backline, but they're just a good meat shield for your damage dealers.
I think they're so adaptable. That's the thing about Druids. And Razor Claw is
Yeah,
like Razor Claw is an S tier unit, and Druids allow you to get to level 3 Razor Claw really quickly. Um,
yeah.
I think they're not a strategy that'll win you the game. They fall off really hard. You need to incorporate them into something else, but they are just good, like all round pretty good. So I think I like them in A.
Hmm.
Mages. This is contentious because I think I probably like mages more than you.
They're so strong. But I would put them S because they're so strong. But
Yes.
they're yeah, I mean end game, if you can get the build, then easy. It's so good. It's good against all of those other S tier comps.
Yeah. So mage, apart from knights, mages kind of suck versus knights, but everything else they will beat. I mean, they destroy feathered, so you kind of have to throw them up there. Um,
Yeah.
the only caveat with mages is 6 mages suck. You have to build a 3 mage composition. 6 mages is just not worth it because you've got to include ogre mage, and you also need blight sorcerer, so it's just not worth going. But 3 mages with Razor, the Source, and Tortola Elder, especially if you get Razor to 3 and Tortola Elder to 2, will crush almost anything that you throw against it. As long as you've got a beefy front line like Druids or like Warriors or even Knights, they are just strong. I think there are definitely one of the S tier compositions. I'm very conscious
Yeah.
that we've actually heading towards 30 minutes discussing this tier list.
Oh, are we? Oh
Yeah.
no.
So I'm gonna quickly throw in spirits. Now, I like spirits as like from rounds 1 to 10, and then I kind of just discard them. They also fit really nicely into mages, so I'm hovering between B and C. What do you think?
I don't think they're on the same level as demons, agressus, mechs, or humans, so I'd put them D.
This
I would put them with warlocks.
no, I'm disagreeing with you. I have to disagree with you. I think if you get Stone Spirit and Water Spirit on the board in the early game, and you actually get the procs, they are like insane. Plus, Water Spirit just got buffed. They're
But are we talking about winning games or just like early games? Because you'll discard it. Like you said, you'll discard it late game.
yeah. I just don't want to undersell that they are super good early. This is tough.
I understand. I understand. Uh, I don't know. I think if we're talking about winning games, yeah, they're great. They're great early game,
I'm gonna put them down
but
with
almost
Marines.
irrelevant.
Yeah, okay. Let's put them.
Almost irrelevant late game.
That's true. I mean, you can't really build a 4 spirit composition because it's so higgledy piggledy that it doesn't really make sense.
Right.
Um, yeah, I will add this caveat to anyone watching. If you get Razor, Stone Spirit, or Water Spirit, Stone Spirit, build it because it's just really good early game. And it's also pretty bloody pog versus the wolf round. So if you're going mages and you've
Yeah.
got a Stone Spirit and a Thunder Spirit, it's really good versus the wolves. So I'm just gonna add
It's
that
gonna help you
caveat.
with your mages against the creep rounds.
Yeah, assassins. This will be a tough one. Um,
It will be. I would put it between A or B.
I definitely don't think it's A. I think it's
Okay, then B.
I think it's B. The reason being is assassins lose to warrior, assassins lose to knight, assassins lose to feathered most of the time. Assassins even lose to late game mages. They lose to goblin mech. They lose to a lot of the top tier synergies. They are so good if you snowball them. Like assassins can be like indomitable if you snowball them. But they
Because it's easy to get a lot of them early to
yeah.
make like 6 with one front line and all of them 2 stars. And then if you snowball with them, like you said, then there's not really many people that can actually like be patient enough to build a good team that would counter at late game, and you pretty much just run through everybody until everybody's dead. Uh, but I think B is I'm happy with B.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to go with B because, like, I just don't think that. Okay, because I talked about it at the start. I don't think they're reliable. Like, I just don't think assassins are reliable. That's my issue with them. I think a lot of the synergies that we've put up, apart from maybe goblins, obviously relying on Devastator, but they are just so good if you get Devastator. A lot of the other synergies that we've got here are quite reliable. Assassins kind of you need 6 assassins most of the time to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But they're good. They're good enough to be a good synergy, but I just don't think they're that good.
No, I think they fit actually with feathered as well. I actually build them with feathered or sometimes dragons too.
Yeah.
But I think B as an overall, I'm fine with that. The question that I have for you though, since we have everything down here now, and
Yes.
you're looking at it as a whole, like, is there anything that you think, specifically on the S tier, that should be maybe SS tier?
Because we could have another row, couldn't we?
Or maybe just, yeah, I think that would probably be the better way if you wanted to
Do you know what,
like
guys?
really just say like this is.
I'm going to take a brief interval on this. Give me a second. All right. Normal service has resumed.
Yes.
Okay, so Clay wanting to add. Why is that called N?
It
Oh
says N.
my god!
I actually just noticed that.
I'm just gonna change that to S plus here, so we can all be on the same page. So Clay has asked me if we could put anything to S plus, and I would like to say yes. I think we should, and I am gonna make some
Okay.
moves here, and Clay can tell me how he feels about it.
Okay.
There you go. Now discuss.
Hmm. I would probably put warriors down and mages up.
Now that I think about it, that seems a bit better.
Like those are the 3 premier builds
Yes,
in the game.
I think those are the 3 that you'll see most high bishop rook players go for. For late game pure win condition. These are the 3 builds that most people lose streak into, for instance. So I think I'm very happy with this tier list now.
Yeah, I think that's what it was missing, is the slight differentiation between warriors and feather compared to the top 3 in my opinion, which is knights, hunters, mages.
Yeah, so I'm gonna also add this to the start of the video, just so people can see the tier list immediately, and if they want to watch the discussion, then they can.
Okay.
But yeah, so Clay, this is our tier list. Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it. I'm happy. I'm very happy with it, and I'm interested to see how it's going to evolve in the weeks to come, because I'm super happy with how they just make small changes to classes and don't really, they're not afraid to make changes to classes. So it always changes the meta, and I really like it because you can't just get super set into one build. You have to know how to build multiple different things, and that's where it sets better players apart from weaker players.
I agree.
And I'm just very interested to see how it's gonna adjust. Like looking back at this from maybe, I don't know, 6 months to a year from now, to see how it's gonna change is gonna be interesting.
All right, so that is our tier list, guys. If you enjoyed listening to the thought process, please make sure you go and follow Clay on YouTube and Twitch. I believe it's literally youtube.com/c/Claytano and twitch.tv/Claytano. He's pretty much Claytano on any social media, so you can go and find him there. He will be doing the release of this next time, so you need to go follow his channel for that reason. And we'll be trying to do this.
But it will be a collab with Excoundrel.
I will be here. You'll have to listen to me again. But I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. I think it's I think we were missing the S plus tier for sure when we were talking about it. But you know, like I said, like with my the initial unit tier list that I did, it's an evolving strategy, and like we'll evolve to make it clearer and more concise and sort of how we feel about it. But I think this is I'm pretty set on what I feel about this tier list in terms of the current meta. I think it's really really good.
Yeah, it's a solid guideline.
Yeah, and it's a good
For sure.
guideline, a good guideline for you guys out there. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you very much, and we guys will see you soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, Scoundrel, for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, Clay.
Thanks.